he's a monster. Like, he is very, very good. And to get into the games I watched, just to again preface that, I watched him versus Ohio State, Iowa, and Georgia. And with that being said, he's 6'5", 270. We'll see a lot of the official measurements and stuff like that will come in the next coming days. Obviously, that's why I preface that I'm doing this on March 2nd. You're probably watching this in April. So if you're like, oh no, dude, he's 6'5", 275, 280. What are you talking about? It's like, yeah, well, again, March 2nd. That's the reason I say that. So go over the strengths and weaknesses at the end of the review. Let's watch the first play. Inside win angle, 97. Obviously, I think we know what number Aidan Hutchinson is. Again, the number one player in our draft. To me, by a relatively wide margin. I like Thibodeau, but his athleticism is different than Thibodeau's. He's definitely stronger than Thibodeau's. Thibodeau is more bursty, shows more bend, even though while not elite. But Hutchinson easily takes him, to me, in power and technique. And the bend isn't over. It's not like Hutchinson, or it's not like Thibodeau is the next coming of Josh Allen bendiness, or like Myles Garrett that size bendiness, or Chandler Jones type athleticism. Like it's a 9 out of a 10. But it's not like Aidan Hutchinson's a 5. He's like an 8, 7.5. Like, he's still a really good athlete. And you pair that with, I'm not gonna say 7.5, 8. Pair that with uber good technique for the most part. You have a player who's going to comfortably be 10+ sack a year guy. Which people, that's not a lot. I would do all but stamp my name on that one, which I could. I'm fine with doing that. Obviously, assuming health and scheme fit. I think he's a guy who, could easily get, there's years where he's getting 12, 13, 14, 15 sacks back to back years, so let's watch him. Let's see why. And a lot of it has to do with technique and effort and understanding the game and being, kind of balls deep and being a football player. And he has that. Angles. This is what we're talking about. What does he noticing the tackle do? Tackle obviously gets into like a mixture. It's not a good set in terms of a mixture between a 45 and a vertical. And immediately he's opening. And when his body is now parallel, or his feet are pretty much parallel to the sideline, and he's rushing to get up the arc, his momentum's all going backwards, and he's not going to be able to cover the inside with his hips. So Aidan Hutchinson comes off the ball, reads that, shortens his stride, little like hesitation, gets hands on, rips. I don't know if he tries a club, but it's a little bit too far away, but gets hands on, rips, bursts through. Obviously tackle eats it, and he's there. Plenty of plays are coming that are much more impressive than that, but I always preface it. When I record at first, I get record happy. The first game, I always record more plays than ever. He's right here. Again, pretty simple stuff. Do we want to see him be able to shed a tight end? This case, Jeremy Ruckert. Don't get down Jeremy Ruckert because Aidan Hutchinson shed him for a tackle. You have Ohio State who's running an outside zone, and he notices the zone steps, widens with the zone steps. He doesn't want to get caught in the middle, and he wants to obviously set the edge. So steps with the zone, ducks his head, is out leveraging Ruckert right off the jump, which you cannot have happen if you're Ruckert, because if anything, you need to out leverage him because you're not going to outpower him. Hands inside, eyes in the backfield. Obviously, the run is not going so wide right here where he needs to continue to widen because he's going to take himself out of the play. So if he's going to continue to widen, split that C gap, split these blockers, penetrate the C gap, and you're still containing the edge because it's not like you have to be the outermost guy. You have to be out leveraged him to the sideline, or you want to out leverage him to the sideline. So gets off of that, little arm over, easy tackle. but good job in terms of leverage, good job in terms of widening, good job getting his eyes into the backfield, seeing the running back's angle, seeing that he's not going to get outside of him, even if, giving himself, like, confirming he has a time to shed. Easy money. And these are two really, really simple plays. Like, we get into some ridiculously impressive plays. Ridiculously. These are more generic, just plays we kind of almost expect. Especially the second one. First one, not necessarily, but inside wind stride. Obviously outside right here. Again, terminology, I don't care if you want to use the system where you use imaginary people. Okay, tight end right here, 7. Okay, another guy right here, 9. If you want to call him a wide, 5. I don't care. Loose 5. People call all different stuff. I don't get worked up about it. The only thing I say is, like, the inside stuff, I want to see people using 2-eye, 3-eye, loose 3, all that stuff, because you can tell me, a 3 versus a loose 3. 3, you have him here. Loose 3, he's like here. Right here, then like 4 eyes a little bit more inside, and they're all different positions to me. But in terms of the edge, again, whatever you want. So let's see what he does. Again, sack. So another situation where both based on the tackle setting, the way he sets, either in game he figured this out, or just based on film study, which I'm sure he's studying these guys pre the game they're playing. He's striding up the arc, but you can tell how he's pretty much in control of his feet, or he's in control of his feet. He's not over striding in terms of just like lunging completely full stride, full gait. He's coming off with a little bit of a shortened stride. 1, 2, 3. You can see how his last 2 steps he really reduces. 1, 2, not covering a lot of ground, but still showing up the arc. Obviously, like I said, the tackle, not the best tackle in the world. You can tell he's narrow, high, and he's oversetting. Hutchinson again gets 2 hands on, rips through, just like the last time. If he was a little bit tighter, do you want to see a club rip, beat him a little bit more clean? Sure, but if you can get hands on and rip through, hands on, as you said in the rip, because you can't rip from that far, just get hands on to push him back a little bit into a rip, get the sack. Easy money again. He dominated the 3 games I watched. Now, maybe I watch another 3 games. I'm like, oh, okay, I wasn't as impressed in those other 3 games that I'm as compared to the 3 games at first I watched. Again, I can get more reviews out doing 3, 4, 5 games of a guy instead of doing their entire season. Instead of 18 reviews, you might have gotten 6. And what do we want more? Or what do I want more? Doesn't really, for me too. So 4-eye right here, 2-point stance. Again, a little bit of a lighter stance inside, more reading. Comes off the ball. Right tackle or the left tackle's own steps. What does he do again? Drops his weight, drops his hips, helmet underneath, hands inside, hands tight, extension or some extension, eyes into the backfield. Okay, confirm that the running back has the ball. You obviously you're not the force player, not the edge sitter on the outside. So penetrate the backside B gap. Penetrates, just pushes off pure strength and gets held. But you like the fact that he's, again, easily stacking, eyes are in the correct spot, and easily shedding with just what almost looks too easy with just pushing off the guy. But again, he's held here a lot. Like the jersey, I'm surprised it doesn't rip off of his chest. And I don't know if it's cold. I don't see a flag. I don't think it was from that play. And I was like, how is that not a holding? But let's see this one. Hutch rush. Win hip flex. Okay, so stand up again. Call him a 9. Call him a wide 5. Yeah, so you're seeing good burst. Like he doesn't have like the thing that I like about his rushes is he definitely maintains his speed throughout his rush. His second and third step isn't overly explosive. Like his first step is explosive and he carries full speed, second, third, fourth step, but it's not like he has that second gear. And I know people are going to hate this comparison. It's not a comparison. It's just watching this guy a lot when he was coming out. He really had this. And again, it was more character stuff and him working. than him actually being a bad football player. But Ja'Kai Polite, his second and third step coming out of Florida was absurd. Like his explosion and his second, third step was elite. And Hutchinson doesn't, and obviously different sizes, but he doesn't have that like second, third step. Like Kevin Thibodeau has a second, third step where it's first step like explosive and second, third even turn it up more. Hutchinson gets to top gear pretty quickly, but his top gear, like second, third step burst isn't great. His closing burst is really good. His first step burst is very good. So now he's coming off the ball. Okay, this tackle stays inside a little bit more, splits him a little better. Now he's going to work to the outside. You're seeing him throw a double swipe. That's a tiny bit too early. But the outside hand still lands on the chest. He's able to continue up the arc, pull him down, and then you're going to see him go for that rip to control that elbow to not let it back on him. And now we're going to see like, okay, he's a bad athlete. Well, look at some of the flexibility from his lower body to his upper body right there, and look at how wide his left step is right there in terms of outside of his frame, and he's able to maintain cornering right there. So you see some flexibility, you see some bend right there. That is for sure. Again, look at the hips where the upper body is. If you're not flexible from your upper body to your lower body, your body can't contort like that, especially mid play when you have a tackle on you. So you see some good athleticism there, and then again, closing, gets the quarterback, lays a big shot, but it's up there. So. All right, next play. Read offensive tackle set. Left side of your screen. Right edge, 2-point. Now, again, like and his speed for it's good for his size. He's obviously not the open field runner that Jermaine Johnson is. And in terms of like his like big change of direction, again, and this is the way I found it to kind of say this year, because it's always hard to explain. Like the single change of direction, big truck can do it pretty quickly, but in terms of stopping, going around a U-turn type deal, big truck can't do it as well. And that's kind of what I'm talking about in terms of like gearing down, reaccelerating, changing angles. He's not the most dynamic athlete in that sense, but in terms of short change direction, short area explosion, burst, decent flexibility, decent bend, or good. It's just not elite. And here, now he's coming off the ball. Again, on more of a direct angle to the tackle. And now he short strides him. He's just reading the tackle set, reading the play. The run is going opposite. I think he sees it's a he's not getting run blocked. There's play actioning. Crosses the face with a club. Club swipe, can't see exactly where it lands. Again, swipe, I say more for the hands, elbows. Clubs are more for the shoulders, ribs. Club, arm over is there. But again, in terms of changing direction and making this play, it's obviously going to be hard. The quarterback is athletic, but again, you see how quickly he's kind of reading the set and or playing the run into a pass rush transition right there. It's again, really nice, pretty simple win for him. He won very, very cleanly. That wasn't even close to losing. Burst, lateral agility. Okay. Again, wide 5, 9, 2-point stance. Again, and he's a guy who has enough burst where tackles are going to open up on him. Like it's not elite, but it's still good.